So I guess Kandi was on an interview and she was basically saying in a nutshell that she didn't know why Jason felt the way that he felt towards her. The best thing she could come up with is because she denied the invitation to his show, which I do not blame her. If he been up on social media bashing her, talking crap about her, um, for whatever reason, I don't blame her for denying it. Um, I think that's even in real life. If you know somebody talk about you, I don't know about nobody else, but if I know you talk about me, you diss me or you shady towards me, why would I sit down with you, talk to you? Why would I invite you in my space or come into your space? That's how I never understood how even people be friends with people on social media, go to the same events that you know another person that you don't care for. um I never understood how, like I was telling somebody the other day, you can be cordial with somebody and not acknowledge them. It just all depends on the person and their maturity level. you know um I give you an example. I have a cousin that I want to say the Thanksgiving before last, we used to always get into it, and like I came right out and told her one time, long story short, no, it's not the cousin from the toxic family member story. It's a different one. Um, when I told her we had words, long story short, I told her, you don't know what I've been through, and she gonna tell me, girl, you ain't been through nothing. They babies you, you ain't have to worry about shit. And like I told her, you don't know what I've been through. We not close. We never been close. We'll never be close. It's never been, hey girl, I'm call you up on the phone. We gonna talk. It's never been that between us. It'll never be that. And she kind of got quiet. So we basically, I think in that moment we both came to an understanding it's not like that between us. It'll never be that way. So, long story short, that I want to say a couple years later, Thanksgiving, I want to say it was the year before last. I can't. We all my dudes want to everybody over there. You know how they do. And I told her that I'm not for her saying nothing under her breath, because she one of the ones that say little stuff on her breath and then play stupid. So I told her I didn't want her to say anything to me, and my dudes was like you know I don't want y'all fighting, because you may be a fighter, but you're not a fighter like she's a fighter, because she's been in the world. That's the one I told y'all about from the y'all have heard me bring her up multiple times, because I learned a lot from their mistakes. Y'all heard the gang member story, news story that I told y'all about. Those were the girls that I was referring to. But long story short, my dudes told me she didn't want us fighting because, like my ex-boyfriend said in so many words, she knew you would get your ass whooped. But he didn't say it like that. But that's what he was saying, for him to say, I think this is one that you need to back down from. That time we got into it, he grabbed my arm. He said, babe, I think we just need to go. But, y'all, I don't back down for nobody. Now, if it's a big group of people, I might, but, I might, you gotta, like the old saying go, you gotta know when to fold them, you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them. But I done fought two bitches before. I don't care about that. But anyway, other than that, long story short, we came around each other. She ain't sit under me. I ain't sit under her. We didn't speak. And I kept the peace. We kept the peace. I held the baby. Of course, I don't have nothing against the baby. I told my dudes that I wanted to, because she had just had another baby, and I told my dudes I wanted to hold the baby. If she brought the baby, I was gonna want to hold her because I love fat babies. And she asked her, and because it got so bad that me and her, we got into it so bad that I actually pulled out a knife on her, and I meant business. And I didn't know if, which the kids weren't there when it happened, but I didn't know if she would still let me hold the baby, you know. So I asked my dude, I told my dudes if I'm coming and she bring the baby, I'm going to hold her. And my dudes told her, and my dude said she gonna want to hold the baby. And she said, is it okay for her to hold the baby? And she said, Grandma, you know it's okay for her to hold my baby. I know she wouldn't do nothing to my kids, you know. And of course not. You know, I may not care for you, but what the kids got to do with it, you know. So I held the baby, and she would cry when I tried to give her back and stuff. Kids love me. But anyway, so yeah, and I still didn't speak to her. I walked up to her and I got the baby from her. She didn't say anything to me. I didn't say anything to her. And yeah. So when I tell people that story, they always say that's how you know it's love there, because, you know, if she felt that horrible about you, she wouldn't have let you hold her baby. You know, I don't care how she felt. I know I was gonna hold that baby. But anyway, other than that, and it's crazy because I think she knew I was coming to hold her, because as I was walking past, I didn't know what energy her mom was gonna be on. So as I was walking past, she was, you know how kids look at you, and I just held my arm up, and she just put her arms up, and, like, did it come in my arms? But yeah. So you know, they brought their hand around your finger. She had her whole hand around my finger. It was so cute. Anyway, so yeah. But other than that, she is so cute. She is so adorable. Yeah. But other than that, what was I saying? Damn, I'm always getting off topic. Hell, I don't know. But anyway, Jason, damn, how I get on kids from talking about Jason. But yeah. So I mean, oh yeah, moral of the story is you can be around people. Some people can be around people and not speak, not talk, not none of that. But some people can't. You know, some people feel like you gotta acknowledge them. You gotta have a conversation with them. You gotta accept their invitation. You don't have to do that. You could be around somebody and not acknowledge their presence. I just gave you an example of how I literally came and got the baby out of her arms and didn't even say hello. She didn't either. You know, you can do that and handed the baby back to her. Didn't say hello, hi, thank you, nothing. That's what it was given, you know. Um, that's what it was given. Like, you know, when I pulled out the knife on her, I told my dudes, I said, I don't know how she gonna cure it. And my dudes, you know, kind of like me, they're very brutally honest. I come from brutally honest people. She told me to be honest with you. She already knows she can beat you. That's probably why she won't worried about it. And one of my guy friends know of them, and even to the point where my guy friend had told me, I got a lot of stories, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all a lot more story times. I've been through a lot. One of my guy friends had actually told me. He told me how he have seen her pistol whoop people for the tedious things. And I said, pistol whoop? He said, yeah. He said, them girls are. He said, I didn't even know them was your cousins. I would have never known that. But he was telling me how he didn't want me to fight her. He said, you know, them girls are brutal. They didn't play no games, but yeah. So other than that, so I'm just giving y'all an example of how you could be around people, but you know, I think it's a little different as far as an interview, because it's like, why would I give you clicks and views? Why would I put you on a platform? Why would I help bring people to your show or podcast when you bash me. Most definitely not. That same cousin I told y'all about, y'all think if she had a podcast, you think I'm gonna come up there? No. Why would I do that? First of all, I don't have the audience to. Now, I will say this. Jason Lee, I was over him ever since he threw that drink in Hazel E face. I think everybody can agree, for the most part, Hazel E came across very annoying with some of her tactics. I told y'all a little bit of how I feel about her, but for the most part, I think we all can agree, no matter how much we may not care for somebody, that was a bitch ass move. I'm not for guys coming at women no way. I don't care if you gay or not. I know a lot of the times, we gay guys, they consider their self a woman's equal, but you are not our equal. You have a thing between your legs. I'm not for guys coming at women any type of way. I don't care even if you are a heterosexual man, so you proclaim. Even, when I'm dating, I don't like an aggressive guy. I don't like a guy that's loud. I don't like a guy that has a potty mouth. Those are things that I do not care for at all. I like a more laid back, very, quiet, and, I like them very, kind of not mysterious, but, the guy that you see there, but you know what I'm saying? He not really saying much. That's more so my thing. Jason, I don't even see how he pulled. Well, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't even gonna say that, because it's somebody out here for everybody. So I ain't even gonna say that. But I'm not surprised Jason Lee coming at somebody else. In my opinion, from what I observe, he comes at women more than he comes at men. I don't watch Housewives. I don't know much about Kandi personality. I told y'all how I feel about it. It always came across to me as Mean Girl Crew, very sorority, kind of like I see little clippings here and there on YouTube, but other than that, I never really sat down and watched an episode. Oh, when Housewives Atlanta first came out, I did see 1 or 2 episodes where I forgot about that. Where when it first came out, like the first season. See, I'm one of those people. I think it's probably because I'm one of those people that, how a show first come out, I gotta watch it from the beginning to get into it. I can't jump in the 8th or 9th season, and then some people can do that. Like, they can jump in and then develop a opinion of a character. I cannot do that. I gotta watch it from. I'm one of those people, just like even in real life. I can't see somebody going off on somebody and then saying, you're the aggressor. I don't care if I'm in the room and I see you just sit down at the table and cuss somebody out. I'm one of those people, I cannot just say, oh, you started it. Because I saw when you walked in, you did da-da-da. Because sometimes in life, the person may catch the middle of something. You may catch the middle of the beef. You may be walking in, or you may be already in the room, and you may have witnessed a person sit down at the table, but you don't know if this is something that has been brewing for some time. So that's just my character. I cannot, even on TV, I cannot watch something in the middle of the season, or I cannot start watching something at season 8 and then get into it. Like, that's probably the reason I couldn't get into Empire, because I didn't watch it from the beginning. Power, I did go back and start watching season 1 on Stars. But like I was telling my colleague, I couldn't get into it. And she was like, well, you like BMF? I said, yeah. She said, well, if you like BMF, you should like Power. I still couldn't really get into it. I don't know why. Maybe I'll revisit the show and see. Maybe I gotta sit down and just, I don't know. But other than that, I don't know a lot about Kandi character because I told y'all I watched the first. I went all the way back with Kim Zolciak when she was on the show, and from what I heard bloggers, she turned out to be a racist. But it was kind of hard to believe because when I think I saw 2 episodes. Was it on Zeus? Not Zeus. I'm thinking it was on Hulu. Yeah, it was on Hulu. And it was expiring in a couple of days. But what happened was I was watching it at my night job. So, on my night job, I have a little more time to sit down and watch it versus when I'm at my day job, I'm dealing with numbers. And on my free time, I'm really just, resting or doing homework. So I really don't, but you get the picture. It was going to expire before I was going to be able to finish it, if that makes sense. So, because you got Hulu, the shows expires after a certain amount of time. I guess they take it off or whatever. It probably was up there for some time. But I had been saw it up there, so I said to myself, because I had watched all the Have and Have Nots, which turned out to be one of my favorite shows. And I needed something else to watch. So it wasn't really nothing. I said, they're going to cram these housewives down my throat, aren't they? So I clicked on it one day and I saw, and I think it was her, it was Nene, Kim Zolciak, Nene. It was another lady. I forgot that lady name. She was a black lady. She had 2 sons. And they had a real nice house. But I ended up looking them up, and it looked like she had divorced him. Because she found out he had cheated on her and got somebody pregnant with a little girl. And she was talking about in an interview how it broke her heart because she wanted to give him his first little girl. I forgot the lady name. But y'all probably know who I'm talking about. But anyway, Kandi, I don't think Kandi was up there. And it was some lady named Sheree. And on this episode, I think Sheree was throwing like a party or something. And Nene, I think she didn't get an invitation or something like that. And it just came across real shady. And one thing I peeped automatically was the fact that Sheree was like, I did put her on the list. And it's just the way she carried it. And when Nene said, I'm leaving, I noticed how Sheree was just like, oh, okay. It came up like she didn't really care. It came across as, you did that shit on purpose. It did though, but it came across as mean girlish a little bit. I'm like, But it was kind of interesting. It was kind of interesting because, and in these 2 episodes that I had saw, one thing I liked that I think Nene was changing her clothes or something, and Kim was like, you know how you cover her, and it brought me back to middle school. I gotta be honest, when I had a good Judy, I had 2 good Judys, which both of them turned out to be shady. But I told you she was a Scorpio. My good Judy at the time, she was a Scorpio. And one thing about them Scorpios, a Scorpio and a Leo. One thing about a Scorpio and a Leo, when y'all are cool, y'all have a good time. I can't say that. And I remember being in middle school, and when need to change my clothes, I told you I had I was thicker. I started developing very early. So, when I would change, and in middle school, you go to the gym in the locker room, I would change and they would be standing in front of me so nobody would see. It just brought me back to and matter of fact, I think they was cracking fat jokes looking back, because when I would change, you know how two people would stand in front of you so can't nobody see? But when they would change, I would stand in front of both of them. I just thought about that. I think that was and they would be giggling, and I think that was a fat joke. I really do think that. I think that looking back though, but it's cool because I had real big boobs. I told y'all by the time I was in high school, I was wearing a triple K bra. But anyway, um, I was in the 6th grade wearing a double D, and um, yeah. By the way, for the mamas out there, I get off topic a lot. For the mamas out there that have young girls, you know, as I get older, I look back on some things that, you know, people did and said. Let me tell y'all something, like I always tell people. If you have a daughter that's developing early, one thing my dudes once told me, I never forget when I was in the 6th grade, and that same good Judy, we was hanging with another girl. It was always me and her with somebody else for the most part, but she ended up moving schools, so by the time we got to middle school, we had another good Judy, if that made sense. But that's the stripper I told y'all about in the fight on the bus story. But nonetheless, long story short, I remember being in elementary school, because our elementary school had the 6th grade. It stopped at the 6th grade in my state. But long story short, I remember her asking, because we had all went to the skating ring. Her mama had took us all to the skating ring, and she told her daughter to ask me what size bra did I wear. And I remember my mama being so mad. She was so mad. And see, you know what happened was, I was on the phone talking to somebody about, because you know how you feel a little uncomfortable with somebody asking you about that. And I remember talking on the phone, and see what happened was, my supposed to be uncle, he had went back and told my mama that, you know, it was inappropriate for her to be asking me that, right? So my mama had asked me, she said, who asked you what size bra you wear? And I told her so-and-so mama wanted to know, and she got so mad. She cussed that lady out and everything. And what happened was, she told her daughter to ask me what size bra I wear, but basically what they were saying was, she might as well have asked if she told her daughter to ask you, because we all know kids repeat stuff. But looking back, I was like, they ain't let me come over there no more, nothing. So looking back, I was like, Mom, they, you know, I was so mad at her and stuff like that for them to do that. But looking back, it was, I'm a little older now. That was inappropriate. That was very inappropriate. But anyway, I got off subject. But anyway, I see why as an adult now, how inappropriate that was. You know, you don't do nothing like that. It's none of your business. But anyway, so nonetheless, yeah, I done got from a Scorpio, anyway, to the bra, anyway. I get off subject a lot. Y'all get used to it. If not, subscribe. I don't care. But anyway, so fast forwarding, yeah, so back to Jason Lee. I don't know much about Kandi to say if she's snobby or whatever. I don't think she was on that episode that, as y'all can see, the only people named I know off the top of my head, Nene, Sheree, and Kim. And the only reason why I know about all three of their names, because their names, you heard a lot. I heard a lot of my favorite bloggers talk about Sheree. We hear Funky talk about her. Alex is my favorite up here. I definitely have heard him speak on her. Kim, one of my other favorite bloggers is Rodney the Voice. I told y'all, majority of my favorite bloggers are gay boys. Well, gay men. I've heard them talk about, and Nene, I told y'all I listened to TGIF with Funky, Claudia, and Al. I am a fan of their show. I heard them talk about really all three of them. Kim, Zodiac, when her house was up for auction, I heard Rodney talk about it. Rodney talk about it. So, majority of my favorite vloggers I spoke on all three of them. And that's the only reason why I really, know their name, hear it often. Other than that, I think we all know how Jason is. I told y'all how I feel about him. I thought he was a bitch ass Nigga ever since he threw that drink in Hazel face. And I know he has mentioned on multiple occasions, oh, I just did that for ratings. They told me to do that. I'm like this. I feel like it's certain things people will do, certain things people won't do. But I'm not gonna sit up here and act like Jason don't make good points. I bought his book. What's the name of it? Hell. I ain't gonna lie to you, I haven't read it yet. I just bought it. I'll probably read it one day. Got it off of Amazon. To be honest with y'all, it's in my shed. I ain't gonna sit up here and act like I read it. I didn't. But I probably will one day. But because I do like his story when he talks about some of the things he's been through. Do I think he's a jerk? Yes, I do. I don't know if Jason is a horrible person. I know people say he's a horrible person. I don't know. I do think he's a jerk though. But like I always say, people can grow out of that. You can grow out of being mean. You can. I've seen it happen. I've seen people that were hateful to me in the beginning when they first met me, and then out of nowhere they start being nice. I've experienced that numerous occasions. So people can grow out of that. But other than that, I don't know much about Kandi. I'm not a real big fan of SWV, Escape, when all that Latasha Sky. I know we see that often lately. I just keep scrolling. I don't really know much about that. I told y'all I like R&B, but I'm more of Anita, Babyface, Tony, Luther, Keith Sweat. That's more my lane. I don't consider Escape SWV in the same lane as the Luthers, the Keith. I told y'all I'm old school when it comes to music. I consider SWV Escape more of the newer genre R&B, like not that. I mean, it's not recent, but it's more recent than I guess my type of music. Lenny Williams, Teddy Pendergrass, Atlantic Star, like that's more so me. The Barge family, as much as screwed up they were, we not gonna sit here and act like they didn't give us classics. Okay. Quincy Jones, as screwed up he is, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I've had some good sets off of Secret Garden. We used to really we used to tear it up off of that. So we used to get to it. But I mean, it is what it is. But other than that, that's it. I mean, yeah.